Sources say that the term hoovering came from the iconic vacuum cleaner. And just like a vacuum, when the narcissist hoovers, they are attempting to suck you in back into the relationship and back into their toxic cycle. Narcissists need constant supply, and if you were once a source of supply, they will likely try and hoover you in an attempt to bring you back into their life to become supply once again when other sources are low. The narcissist often only want back into your life because they need supply and do not want to lose control of you or lose you as a source of supply. It is not you as a person they are afraid of losing. It is the you that is only seen as a source of supply. Someone to use as an emotional punching bag to place all their shame and blame onto, someone to give them adoration, attention, or someone that gives them status, money, a home, or whatever the narcissist may want or need at that moment. And simply, someone to control, so they can feel in control of their own lives. This makes them feel powerful. The narcissist will often hoover using the same techniques that got you into the relationship with them in the first place, or anything that kept you in the relationship previously. Anything from using their charm, sexuality, fake apologies, empty promises, victimhood stories to play on your empathy, or simply more love bombing. Usually, if one tactic doesn't work for them, they will try a different tactic, even in the same situation or conversation. To them, it can be like throwing spaghetti at the wall, then wait to see which piece sticks. Narcissists will even attempt you to feel guilt or shame just to keep you in the relationship. Sadly, in some situations, when all other hoovering techniques don't work, they can resort to using intimidation, threats, or force. And even stalking, because they cannot bear the thought of losing control of you. Please get support if you feel you are in a dangerous position with your narcissistic person. The narcissist may use empty promises as a way to regain your love, to be given another chance. They might you to give the relationship one more chance, promising to change for the sake of the relationship, or offer promises of things that they know you have always wanted. Our hope and forgiveness are used against us to fall back into their trap. Things that they deliberately withheld from you in the relationship are often used to hoover you back in. Narcissists will never give us what we want or need unless it benefits them. This is why you never get your needs met in the relationship. But they will offer these things to you at the end of the relationship, because only then does the narcissist get something out of their efforts. They get to use it as a tactic to hoover you back in, gain control, and keep you as an object for supply. The narcissist has always known what we have wanted or needed. We usually tell them out of frustration before we decide to leave them for good, often having told them many times throughout the relationship. They have never cared, frequently going out of their way to deliberately give us what we don't want so they can feel a sense of power and control, especially if it is used as punishment against us. So, we must see their empty promises for what they really are. Just another tactic to hoover you back into the relationship. Simply another lie used to manipulate. The rare apology from the narcissist can be a huge red flag for hoovering. They use the fake apology to get back your trust and re-enter your life, just to cause more chaos. Forgiveness to a narcissist is only giving them permission to continue using you as supply. They are not genuinely sorry, nor do they feel bad for the hurtful things they've done. Remember, they have no empathy. It is only our own empathy that keeps us tied to them. We tend to think that we should be the bigger person when they come at us with an apology, so it feels easy to forgive them in that moment. But when we forgive the narcissist, all they are thinking is that they have control of us again. They know they have fooled us, and this feeds their ego, giving them instant supply. We continue to enable them simply by forgiving and giving them another chance. It can be a beautiful healing effort when someone can apologize to us for the pain they've caused because they genuinely care. But if you know of someone who never keeps their promises, who constantly hurts you time and time again, someone who has many other narcissistic traits, then consider the fact that they may not deserve your forgiveness. It may be time to go no contact and move on in life without them. Know that you deserve better than to believe their lies. And to stay in this toxic cycle, receiving nothing but pain whilst losing all parts of yourself in the process. They ultimately believe that whatever they did to hurt us was our fault, that we deserved it. The apology is only used as a manipulation tool to keep us around as supply. They often have every intention of hurting us again because they feel entitled to do so. Narcissists believe that we don't deserve an apology in the first place. You may see them ignore the problem at first, then deny it, then make excuses for it, or simply blame you. It's often when none of those other tactics works to keep you around that you may see the fake apology used as a last resort. Narcissists love pretending to be everything we've always wanted. This is often why we began a relationship with them in the first place. Their love bombing can make us feel wanted, understood, loved, and cared for. And the narcissist knows this. They think that if it worked for them at the beginning of the relationship, it may work for them again. But we are often not aware that it is only a manipulation tactic to suck us back in. They do not genuinely love us. Otherwise, they would never have continuously hurt us to the point that we have to walk away. If you have been in a romantic relationship with the narcissist, they may say things such as, "I realize I still love you. It's always been you. I miss you. I need you back in my life. I don't feel complete without you. I realize that you are the one," or "you are my soulmate." Declaring their love for you are only empty words used to pull at your heartstrings, just so they can control your emotions like a puppet. They will attempt anything to make you feel a sense of self-worth in that moment, often showering you with gifts. But once they hoover you back in, things only go back to the way they were and, in most cases, only get worse. Because they often feel the need to punish you for trying to leave in the first place. If the narcissist is a family member, a work associate, or a friend, they may give you lots of compliments, kind gestures, offers, or promises that help you somehow. Sadly, these acts will be used against you later when the narcissist wants something back in return. Whether it's endless adoration, you having to be agreeable with them at all times, or because being associated with you will raise their status somehow. Love bombing doesn't only happen in romantic relationships, and it can be for so many reasons depending on what the narcissist believes you have that they want. Narcissists will also try and guilt trip you to return to the relationship. They might bring up all the things they've done for you, declaring that you're being ungrateful. But just remember, all the nice things were done to be used against you, and these moments are just proof. It's amazing how you can do 100 things for them and never bring it up because when you did them, it was because you genuinely cared. Yet they do one thing for you and somehow, they can make you feel the shame when it should be them feeling it. The narcissist may also send you photos of the two of you together, wanting you to believe they still think about you, trying to make you remember the good times and feel guilty for letting it all go. If you have children with them, they may try and incite guilt in you for breaking the family apart or say that you are ruining the children's lives. Narcissists want you to remember and only think of the good times, even though they were few and far between. And their good acts at the time were only done to serve themselves, whether it was to make them appear good to others or to be used against you later. It was likely you that created the genuine good times, and it is the narcissist who is afraid of losing that as supply, and so they try and project this fear onto you. Narcissists will often play the victim when you leave them, a victim to you or others, or a victim of circumstance. In many cases, they like to use their real or made-up childhood traumas to excuse their toxic behaviors, just so they can make you feel sorry for them, excuse their abusive behaviors, and feel guilty for abandoning them in their so-called time of need. This works because we likely have strong empathic qualities that drew them to us in the first place. We tend to ignore our own pain and put other people's needs first, even our abusers. Using shame against us by the narcissist is closely connected to having our guilt used against us. You may be blamed and accused for all their wrongdoings. They want you to feel the guilt and shame that they deny within themselves, as a last effort to blame you for the failure of the relationship. The narcissist will refuse to take accountability for any of their poor behaviors. Sadly, as empaths, when we are unaware of the narcissist's game and we long for love or acceptance from them, we often take on that blame. Especially as children, taking on the shame they project onto us can keep us stuck in their web. The narcissist knows that highly empathic individuals can be easily manipulated into feeling sorry for them and absorb other people's emotions that doesn't belong to them. After all, that is often why they choose empaths as their victims. When you leave the narcissist, most often they come up with some story of victimhood to explain away their behavior, or how hard it's been without you, and if only you would give them another chance. By the time you know it, you have given them 20 chances. Their acts of vulnerability and insecurity can pull at your heartstrings. Narcissists are completely selfish and codependent. They don't cry because they've hurt you, and that's why you're leaving them. They only cry for themselves because they can no longer use you as supply, and they need supply to survive. Simply by you leaving them, they have lost power and control. This alone makes them feel like a true victim. A victim to circumstances that they created themselves. They feel entitled to have access to who and whatever they want, whenever they want it. If they can't, then they may simply blame, criticize, or intimidate you for it. Or punish you by smearing your name with lies and playing the victim to anybody else who will listen or believe them. Our fears and insecurities can make us vulnerable to the narcissist's hoovering. Especially if we are codependent ourselves, we may deeply fear being alone. Surrounding yourself with friends, loved ones, or outside support can truly help with the feeling of loneliness. Even consider getting a loving pet. Pets can make great company that will provide you with love and joy. We could also fear the unknown and feel it to be easier to stay in the toxic relationship. The narcissist may also have financial control in the relationship, which could create fear over the possibility of leaving with no money for the difficult journey ahead. Or you may fear having nothing if you do leave. But it is best to start again in life with nothing, as long as you have your mental health, physical health, peace, happiness, hope, and the freedom to be yourself and work towards new goals. Because the truth is, we have less than nothing when staying in a toxic relationship. You could fear of what your kids, society, or other family members might think if you were to leave the relationship. And we can strongly fear the narcissist's reactions if we leave them, especially if threats have been made. Leaving a narcissist can be the most dangerous time in the relationship. Always have a plan, get support, and do so quickly, quietly, and safely. The narcissist may threaten or blackmail you if you don't return to them. That fear can be paralyzing enough to make you go back into the relationship. Please seek help and support from professionals, authorities, or loved ones if you feel you are in danger. We may also fear that we will never meet anyone better because they will often say things like, "No one will put up with you or love you like I do," only to make us feel like we don't deserve better. Please don't believe this lie. You deserve and will meet someone so much better. We may fear our own feelings of guilt and shame for leaving them. Don't allow your fears and loneliness to give in to the narcissist's hoovering. If you go back into the relationship, just remember that it is a permanent life of fear and loneliness with the narcissist. It's better to feel those fears without them because eventually the fears will go away. You will discover that there are genuinely caring relationships out there that will give you the opposite of fear and loneliness. You deserve so much better than to repeat another toxic cycle with the narcissist. Always remember, the relationship with them often gets worse every time you re-enter it. Another tactic they also use is wanting to see you one last time, even if it's just over a coffee or for 5 minutes. They feel they can manipulate and control you better face to face, especially because they are able to read your body language or facial expressions, which will in turn give them a better idea of which manipulation tactic to use in the moment. They may say they want it for closure, but it is only another hoovering attempt. The narcissist may also text you after a long time of no contact with a simple, "Hi, how have you been?" Or they might pretend that the message they sent you is intended for someone else. These actions are often sent as bait to see if the door is still open for them to re-enter your life, because they are likely low on supply from everyone else at that time. If you converse with them, the narcissist often believe they have an opportunity to hoover you back into a relationship with them. This is why many narcissists will try and remain friends with you after a breakup, because this keeps the door open for them to re-enter later. But out-of-the-blue contact can also come from your narcissistic family members. Third-party connections might give you an invitation to where your toxic family members will be. The narcissists themselves could come to you with information they believe you want to hear, or bad news concerning the family. Sharing information that the narcissist believes could be of interest or of use to you is often used as a hoovering tactic because it opens the door for conversation and a way back into your life. They may also approach you with a crisis and ask you for help. This allows them to play the vulnerable, innocent victim in need. We all want to be there when a loved one is in need, but be sure to have your boundaries if you need to interact with toxic relatives. Don't allow them to make you feel guilt when they attempt to use their guilt hoovering on you. They may try and make you feel that you are abandoning the family, act like you owe them things, or make comments such as, "You think you are too good for us now." No genuine loving family would use this comment against you. They would be more concerned about why you're distancing yourself in the first place. Please don't let them or others make you feel bad for having boundaries. We must not allow our hopes for a genuine reconnection cloud our judgment. Because if you have repeated the toxic cycle many times already, you know that this will be another repeat cycle if you re-enter the connection. At many points during our relationship with the narcissist, we had hopes that the relationship would improve. We had hope because of the narcissist's promises and caring words which we didn't realize were empty at the time. We believed every lie they told us, which gave us hope and made us stay in an empty, toxic, and one-sided relationship. This toxic dynamic can be with our family members, boss, work colleagues, friends, or lovers. If we really think about it, our whole relationship with them is only built on hope, not reality, not love nor honesty. Our hope was created by lies and manipulation to keep us in a relationship with them, so they could continue to use us. Hoovering often works because when we leave the narcissist, we still carry that hope within our hearts. And the things we hoped for are often our basic needs in any relationship. So, they will often come back saying and doing all the very things we always wanted and needed, thus strengthening that hope once again, and we may believe that things will be different this time if we gave them another chance, even if it is the 10th chance. Just remember that they withheld everything we needed deliberately to hurt us in the first place. And the only reason they are pretending to give you everything you want now is because they always knew you wanted it. It's simply more lies, more manipulation, and more mistreatment. They don't do it because they care. They do it only for themselves to keep you attached to them. If we are still strongly trauma bonded to them, it makes us more susceptible to fall for the trap. Going no contact and focusing on self-healing can help us to see the hoovering for what it is. We tend to give into the narcissist's hoovering because we shared real emotions in the relationship. We may believe that we missed the bond or the good times we thought were real. But remember that the narcissist was able to easily hurt us repeatedly because they never shared real emotions in the relationship. It was the bad times that were real, and the good times were only manipulation. Narcissists hoover not because they miss you, but simply because they miss the attention, the control, the supply that you used to give. They miss having an emotional punching bag because they need a distraction from having to face their own demons. And always remember, you will likely not be the only one they are hoovering for supply. If you enjoyed this video and it was helpful to you in any way, please consider supporting us by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Be sure to share this content if you think it can help others. Thank you. We believe that knowledge truly is power when it comes to dealing with toxic people.